Hi guys, and welcome back to Maths with Miss S. This is part 2 on evaluating terms for beginners, and in the first exercise we're given two values there. We have one value for x, which is 2, and one value for y, which is -3. We will now work on this exercise and try and evaluate this expression for x is 2 and y is -3. What that means is we're going to replace every x with the number 2 and every y with the number -3. Once we've inserted all these values, we will then multiply and simplify this by means of our priority rules. So we need to do our multiplications first. Be careful when multiplying two negatives, the result is going to be positive. And then in the end, we add 8 and 9, which gives us 17. In the second exercise, we now have x is equal to -1 and y is equal to 2 as our values, and we are supposed to evaluate 6y plus 3x minus 2xy for these values. Highlight every x in one color and every y in another color, and then input the number values in the right position. So instead of 6y, we are going to write 6 times 2. And instead of 3x, we're going to write 3 times -1. And important, put a bracket around the -1 to indicate that we're multiplying. And again, in the back, the x, y there is all the multiplications. So we have -2 times -1 times 2. What you have to be careful with here is the change of certain signs. So positive times a negative turns into a negative, while a negative times a negative turns into a positive. And then you work away with your values. So 2 times 1 is 2 and times 2 would be 4. The last step is to just add 9 and 4 together, which gives us 13. Just as a reminder again, positives times negatives give us a negative answer, and negatives times negative gives us a positive answer. This applies for all areas in maths, so please make sure you understand that. It also applies for divisions. Now, in the last exercise there, I'm giving you a negative value for x, -2, and we're evaluating x squared plus 2x minus 3. Again, we're going to replace every x value with -2 in a bracket. This is especially important here now when we're squaring. Now, why is it so important? If I have -2 squared, that means that I'm multiplying -2 by itself twice. So I have -2 times -2 written next to each other 2 times. And a minus times a minus, we know that turns into a plus. If I am only multiplying the 2 by itself, but not the minus, then we would get -4. So be very, very careful when typing that in the calculator. You have to put a bracket around it, otherwise your value will change. And the last step then is to actually evaluate what 4 minus 4 is. That would be 0. And if we take 3 away, we end up at -3.